Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another excellent episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I am your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And I know what you're thinking, Remy. Where are the other guests? What's going on? You said you were gonna have special guests and whatnot. Well, unfortunately, our special guests, due to a schedule clash, we couldn't make things happen. So unfortunately, we'll try to get them back here on a future episode. So and Rob and Kathy, they have some personal matters they have to deal with. So you know y'all just got me right now. But you know what that means? That means most likely this show is going to go a bit faster. And with that being said, we're actually going to be doing our. I'm actually going to be going through the AEW All Out card, which has actually 15 matches. 15 matches, three of which are going to be on the countdown show, and the remaining 12 are going to be on the main card. So man, I tell you, when it comes to matches, they are spoiling y'all. But I see a lot of interesting matches here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they go and so on. So, with that being said, as always, if you're watching, feel free to leave your comments in the comments section, whether it's Facebook, Twitch, or not Instagram or YouTube. Feel free to leave your comments. We always want to hear from you fans and your opinions and so on. So, with that being said, let's begin. It's going to be AEW All Out 2022, coming to you live from, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I take it that's not too far from Chicago. So, yeah, I think this card was put together pretty well, pretty decent. A lot of the matches had a good build up, and it'll be interesting to see how things go during this card. So the first match we have is a match on the pre-show, and it's going to be a singles match between Tomohiro Ishii and Eddie Kingston. Wow, I just have to say Eddie Kingston is going to be in for another fight of his life because Tomohiro Ishii can be brutal. This guy does not play. I believe he's the one they call the Stone Pitbull, and he lives up to his name. So this is going to be hard hitting because, as you know, Tomohiro is going to be in for the fight of his life too because Eddie Kingston is no slouch. Whether win or lose, you're going to be in for a fight with Eddie Kingston. Just ask Jericho and the many others that have actually fought him in the ring. Yeah, they definitely he may have never been a world champion, but people definitely put respect on Eddie Kingston's name. So with that being said, I think Tomohiro Ishii might pull this off. I'm gonna go with him. I know it sounds weird, but I think Tomohiro is gonna pull this one for some reason. I think it's gonna be him. The next match we have is gonna be a singles match for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. It's gonna be the Bastard Pac, who is the defending champion, versus Kip Sabian, aka the guy who had a paper bag over his head for the better part of the year. In regards to who I think will win this match, I think Kip Sabian's going to pull it off. You got to remember too that Kip Sabian always where Kip Sabian is, who's right behind him? Penelope Ford, his wife, and she has been known, as y'all have seen, to get involved in his matches. I think she's going to cost Pac that um Pac or Pac, I don't know how to say it, but she's going to cost Pac that AEW All Atlantic Championship, which in honestly, he doesn't really need it. What he needs to focus on right now is stuff with the Death Triangle and getting them to be a dominant stable. You know, so I think Sabian's gonna take that title. I think it's gonna be Penelope Ford is gonna finally show because if you notice, she hasn't shown up in for the better part of this year. I don't think she's shown up for this year since this year started at all. So I think she's gonna show up and cost him that belt. Bobby, welcome to the show. Always great to see you, bro. Uh, okay, and you're going with yeah, same thing I said, bro. Pac. So the next match we have, this is gonna be a crazy one. It's gonna be a singles match for the FTW Championship. It's gonna be the defending champion Hook versus Cool Hand Ang, Angelo Parker of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Angelo Parker is a veteran in this game. I think he is. I think to see. I think he might be a 20-year vet. He has some. He has. I know he has at least 10 years on him. But Hook is on a roll, and actually, to be exact, I just looked it up. Angelo Parker has 19 years of experience on him. So the guy is like, you know, the guy has close to 20 years in this game. I think, I honestly, Hook has been on a roll. Hook has been on fire. I didn't even expect him to actually get the win over. Well, that was a tag team match, but to get the win over Tony Nese, but he did. And everybody knows Tony Nese is in my opinion, is a top level competitor. He's a world class athlete. But you know something? As much experience as Angelo Parker has, I think Hook's gonna take this. Hook is not losing that belt anytime soon. So I think Hook is gonna take that. He's gonna take this win. Angelo Parker's not gonna get the win over Hook. So I'm going with Hook. Bobby, you said you're going with Angelo Parker. I can see why. The man is more he's more experienced. He's part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. He's no slouch. But here's the thing. Here's my thing, what I'm saying. You know, Angelo Parker's a tag team wrestler. When you're a tag team wrestler, it's one thing. But when it comes to singles, that's a whole different ball game. So it'll be interesting to see how Angelo Parker does on his own against Hook, who I'm pretty sure Taz has taught a lot of things to, because Taz, of course, as everybody knows, is his dad. So we'll see how that goes. The next match we have, and this one is also on the preview show. It looks like it's going to be the it's going to be a mixed tag team match for the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Championship. It's going to be the Jericho Appreciation Society, which is Tay Mello and Sammy Guevara versus the tag team, and they're the defending champions, versus the tag team of Ruby Soho and Ortiz. Well, in my opinion, I think as much and as annoying as they are, but they're doing a good job. I honestly think Tay Mello and Sammy Guevara, they're gonna walk away with these titles. I don't see Ruby Soho and Ortiz beating them. Honestly, I wouldn't. I can't even see Ortiz beating Sammy Guevara one on one. Sammy Guevara is more experienced in singles competition than Ortiz. I've never really seen Ortiz do much as a singles wrestler. Although he's, I guess, from what it looks like, him and Santana have gone their separate ways. So he's taking a journey into singles wrestling, which I don't blame him. I don't see them beating them for those tag team titles. I mean, if they do, that's great. That's great for Ortiz and great for Ruby Soho, because man, that girl's been taking so many L's in the last couple of months. But I think the Jericho Appreciation Society, they're gonna take it. JS, you know what? Yes, Bobby, I know why. Bobby, I know you're a huge Chris Jericho fan. You've been a fan of his for the longest while. So it's not surprising you would choose them, So yeah, I'm not surprised about that. Hey, everybody has their fans. So I'm going with the JAS. The next match that we have is this one's on the main card. It's going to be a singles match, and it's going to be Brian Danielson versus Chris Jericho. I'm gonna go with Jericho for this one. I think Jericho's going to pull it off. Jericho is a Lionheart, you know. Although coming off of, he really needs this too because he just got beat by Dean Ambrose. Well, look, we call him man Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, and that was a bloody match. Both men were bleeding. It had that match actually had me on the edge of my seat. Although I do wish that Jericho had actually would have actually brought out Painkiller Jericho instead of Lionheart Jericho, because that guy would have been more sadistic. He probably would have had a better chance against Moxley as that persona. But he knows he knows what he's doing. But the next time he better fight Moxley. The next time he fights Moxley, he better choose like the best persona. Like I rather him go bring out the painkiller next time. Or is it the painkiller or the painmaker? Bobby, you know it better than me. I think it's I forgot what it was, but Moxley has always owned Jericho. And Bobby, I know you're gonna hate me saying this. Moxley has always owned Jericho. Jericho has never beaten Moxley. He's beaten the guy. What's his name? Oh geez, I forgot. The Wheeler Yuta. He's beaten Wheeler Yuta. And I'm pretty sure he's probably beaten Cesaro. He's beaten Brian Danielson before, but he's never beaten Moxley. He's even beaten William Regal. I think he's beaten William Regal, but he's never been able to beat. Sorry for the noise out there. He's never been able to beat Moxley. So hopefully next time he actually gets to do so. That would make a great story. But I think Jericho is going to beat Danielson for this one. It's going to be a technical match. Danielson's going to rough him up a whole lot, but Jericho's gonna come out on top. He's gonna take the win. So the Painmaker. Okay, thanks for correcting me. I appreciate it. Who you talking? Who beat CM Punk? John Moxley or Chris Jericho? I'm gonna touch on that later on. I'm gonna save my thoughts about that for when that match comes up. So the next match we have is a four-way match for the interim AEW Women's World Championship, and it's gonna be and the competitors are Tony Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. You know what? I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter. I think Jamie Hayter is gonna be the Chris Jericho of this match. And Bobby, you know what I'm talking about. And when I mean the Chris Jericho, I mean the one that seems is the underdog in this and has the deck stacked against her. I mean, in this match, you have two former AEW Women's Champions and a world class athlete in Tony Storm, and then you have Jamie Hayter. So Moxie and Jericho, okay, and Bobby, okay. So I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter. I think Jamie Hayter is gonna pull it out. I think she's gonna catch them by surprise. It wouldn't surprise me if this starts a rift between her and Britt Baker, because Jamie Hayter, she can. I have a feeling she could do well on her own. She just has to get away from them. So I'm gonna have to go with Jamie Hayter on this, and she's gonna be one to take that championship. And honestly speaking, if she manages to beat Thunder Rosa when she comes back, woo, man, her star is gonna be like up there. And she's not a bad person. She's not. She's you gotta give new people a chance. You can't have the same people. So I think Jamie Hayter will be okay. She'll be just fine. So, and Bobby, you definitely agree with me. So the next match we have is a six-man tag team match. It's going to be the House of Black, which is the team of Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Murphy versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with the team of Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. Um, and Bobby, you're going with House of Black. Okay. I would say I think this is gonna be the time when Miro, gets that win. House of Black, they've been doing good, but I think that Miro, Sting, and Darby, they're gonna pull this off. However, I will say this: we will see a match of strength between not Malachi Black, um, Brody King, and Miro. We're also gonna see a stare down between Malachi Black and Sting, and finally they're gonna come to blows, and it's gonna be interesting to see you know who rises or who comes out the victor between those two, because they both play mind games. So it'll be serious. It'll be interesting to see who cracks first. I don't think it's gonna be Sting, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Sting, Darby Allin, and Miro for this one. They're gonna pull it off. The next match we have is a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. We have the defending champion Jade Cargill versus Athena. Man, Bobby says Sting needs Bobby. Leave the man alone. If the man still wants to wrestle, he still well. Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't say that because Ric Flair did his thing at 73, and I heard that wasn't a good match to watch. So I think he'll retire in due time. So Jade Cargill versus Athena. I will probably have to go with Jade Cargill on this one. I think she's going to retain. As much as I admire Athena's gusto, the fire that has been lit in her since coming to AEW, I don't think that's enough for her to take this title from Jada. I think Jade is gonna retain, courtesy of the baddies. So that's what I'm going with. And Bobby said Jade's time is up. Athena's okay, okay, all right. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not. Who knows? It'll be interesting though. So the next match we have is a singles match, and it's going to be Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. We have the 20-something year, I think almost 30-year vet in Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy, the young up and comer who has been proving himself time and time again in singles matches, and that he's no slouch. Honestly, I think Christian Cage is going to pull this off. Christian Cage has always been underestimated, in my opinion, and he's always been overlooked. I mean, even when he was with Edge, he was like the Edge's friend, and Edge was like the superstar from how they made it in WWE. But Christian Cage is no slouch. Christian Cage has actually done well for himself, in my opinion. I mean, come on, the guy was killing it in TNA, which was at one point the number two promotion in professional wrestling in regards to the United States. I'm gonna have to go with Christian Cage on this one. Experience is gonna beat whatever Jungle Boy has, and you know I think Christian Cage is gonna pull it off. I would not put anything over against Christian Age. I mean Christian Cage. So let's see. Yeah, Bobby, you're right. Jungle Boy needs the win, but he's still young in his career too. He's still young. He's still young, so he'll definitely he'll be fine. He'll be fine, win or lose. But it would be great if he did win, because then he could say he beat a veteran in Christian Cage. The next match we have is a six-man tag team match. It's going to be Wardlow and FTR. Wardlow, who is the reigning AEW TNT champion, and of course FTR, who are currently the, I believe, AEW tag team champions. I could be wrong, but wait, I'm trying. Oh no, they're not the current AEW World Tag Team Champions. They're the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and they are one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling. And they'll be going up against the team of Jay Lethal and his friends, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. A lot of history. Those three men have the Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. They were pretty much in AEW in, early in their careers. I remember seeing them. I remember at one point they had an alliance over there too. It was them, and Sanjay Dutt that was part of that too. And they were kind of like this mischievous crew that was doing pranks, kind of like DX, but a bit milder in my opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna have to go with Wardlow and FTR. You know, I'm gonna have to go with them for that. Um, and Bobby, you actually chose Wardlow and FTR. Okay, hey, we're on the same page with that. Yeah, yeah, true, true. It's MJF, by the way. So I'm gonna go with Wardlow and FTR. So the next match we have is a casino ladder match where the winner receives a future AEW World Championship, and it's gonna be Claudio Castagnoli versus Wheeler Yuta versus Penta El Zero Miedo versus Ray Phoenix versus Roosh versus Andrade El Idolo versus Dante Martin versus another opponent to be announced. Who is the person to be announced? I don't know. Who do I think will win? I'd have to go with Roosh. Roosh has been killing it. Roosh has been dominating. I would have to say Roosh is going to take this. He's going to take it. He's going to get that championship match. And that'll be a great match to watch. Yeah, I know Phoenix needs a win too, but he'll get it in due time. He'll get it. He's still young. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Roosh. The next match we have is a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. It's going to be Swerve in Our Glory, which is who are the defending champions, which is Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus the acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. I'm gonna go with Swerve in Our Glory. As great as the acclaimed are, as good as the acclaimed are, and they've definitely stepped up their game, you know, over the last year or so. I don't see those belts going anywhere from Swerve and Our Glory. I think they're gonna keep those belts for a bit. So I'm gonna go with Swerve and Our Glory for this one. Although it should be entertaining that what to hear what the acclaimed have to say with their pre-match freestyle that they always do. Acclaim will not. Yeah, I said the same thing, Bobby. Acclaim will not win, but you never know. So the next match we have is a singles match. It's going to be two former tag team partners, two former stablemates, two former friends, Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. These, as you know, these two men were in Team Taz, and they were in there for like I think almost a year. And then Hobbs got frustrated and he attacked Ricky Starks after he lost the FCW championship to Hook. And then Taz officially disbanded Team Taz. This is going to be a match with a lot of emotion behind it, between Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Honestly, I think Starks is gonna pull it off. He's gonna be badly beaten. He's gonna have to fight tooth and nail. His whole body's gonna ache him the next morning, but he's gonna take the win over Hobbs. And Bobby, let me see, you're going with Hobbs. Okay, cool. The next match we have is a singles match, and it's gonna be no, it's not a singles match. Sorry, it's gonna be a tournament final for the inaugural AEW Trios Championship. Yes, and fun fact, there are only two Trios Championships in professional wrestling in North America, and there are only three men's Trios Championships in all of pro wrestling, and there are only four Trios Championships, men and women, in all of professional wrestling. Of course, there's the Ring of Honor tag, the Ring of Honor 6-man tag, and the AEW Trios Championship, which is here in North America. There's also the one in New Japan, which makes the third um, Trios Championship for men, and there's also the uh, Artist of Stardom Championship, which is a 6-woman championship and the only one in all of professional wrestling. So that's just a little bit of a fact for you. So who do we think is going to take this? Oh wow, this is going to be awkward because you have the Elite, which is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, one of the best trios in pro wrestling today, versus Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Now here's the thing: I know what you guys are thinking about, Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. They're the underdogs, but I wouldn't doubt them too much. The reason being is because before they were known as the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver were known as the Beaver Boys. And the Beaver Boys used to wrestle all over the Indies. And I remember seeing them in CZW once or twice, and they were pretty solid. Who do I think is going to win this? I'm going to go with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. It's going to be awkward because you got Adam Page on the other end facing them, and that's their elite buddy. But I'm gonna have to go with Omega and the Bucks. They're gonna take this whole thing and prove that they're the best trio in all of professional wrestling. I believe that's one thing they were going for like a couple of years ago before the pandemic. I think the Elite are going to take this. And the last match that we have is a singles match for the AEW World Championship. It's the defending champion John Moxley versus CM Punk. Uh, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a hard fought battle, Bobby. It's going to be a hard fought battle between those two teams. Bucks, the Elite, and Hangman Page in the Dark Order. Okay, and oh wow, you already chose Moxley. Okay, all right, you chose Moxley. For this match, I'm gonna have to go with CM Punk. I think Punk's gonna take his belt back, and I think also I'm gonna say that also Ace Steel may get involved. It wouldn't surprise me. And for those of you that don't know, Ace Steel, the guy that actually came out and had Punk sign that contract and motivated him to get a rematch against Moxley. Not only is he a former professional wrestler, but he also trained CM Punk or had a hand in training CM Punk and was also in a stable with CM Punk and Colt Cabana called the Second City Saints. From what I heard, Colt Cabana and CM Punk don't get along. If it's true, man, the, the, I wish they would work something out, but I heard it was bad. But if it's not, because like I said, I don't always believe everything that dirt sheets put out. I mean, I don't live by that. But if it's not true that they don't get along, and they do, and they're just being chummy behind scenes, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a Second City Saints reunion. That would be very great. I wouldn't mind seeing those three men, do one more match. And I mean, Ace Steel is not really that old. I mean, yeah, he's near retirement age, but I don't think he's done. I think he can still go a bit. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with CM Punk for this one. CM Punk's gonna get is gonna get this belt. So let me see. Yes, I'll be watching Worlds Collide, but Bobby, honestly, I am so tired that you know I'm probably and not only am I tired, but because Kathy and Rob had some personal matters to deal with, we're just probably just gonna put like a poll on Twitter. So just check Twitter and look out for our polls, and you could vote. You could vote there. But with that being said, that's the card for AEW All Out this year. You have 15 matches, and now you also have Worlds Collides. I'm gonna tell y'all right now: be thankful, be very grateful. It doesn't matter whether it's WB or AEW. Just be thankful for the amount of wrestling you're getting that you're getting this whole weekend. Not have gotten, because I mean only one show passed, but just be thankful because you got yesterday. It's already 12 o'clock here in New York. Yesterday you got Clash at the Castle from WWE, 6 great matches, and now tomorrow at 4 o'clock you have NXT. Um, I forgot what it was. NXT. Oh, NXT Worlds Collide. Sorry, I definitely need to go to bed. We have NXT Worlds Collide tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m. Then after that, you have AEW All Out. Now is a great time to be a fan, not only just a wrestling fan, an appreciative wrestling fan. Because me, I grew up in the day where you didn't even get pay per views if you didn't have cable. It sucks to suck. I remember sometimes you'd only get one wrestling episode, per week, per weekend. So y'all are really lucky, man. Just don't take this for granted. Enjoy it. Cheer, cheer for your favorites. Don't be obnoxious or don't be mean to people that have a differing opinion from y'all. Just enjoy wrestling this weekend or for the remaining weekend. Okay? And just to let y'all know, for those of you that are in New York City, Jobber Tears has an AEW All Out viewing party, which will be tomorrow at Legends, which is I believe it's 10 West 33rd Street between 6th Avenue and 5th Avenue in the city. So if you're around there, just go ahead and check them out. And, you can sit with fellow wrestling fans and watch the show, watch All Out at Legends Bar, as opposed to staying home and watching it alone if you don't want to. So yeah, definitely. If y'all are heading there, enjoy yourselves. I wish you a safe journey to and from, and just enjoy it, man. Just take it all in. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are literally getting heavy. Like I'm about to pass out once I'm done here because I've had a long day. But it's about that time for us to shut this show down. But before I do so, if you want to find me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Instagram at the Remy Blue, and also on Facebook under the name Remy Blue. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society, Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We are also on Spotify. We also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. And we also have a YouTube channel where we have cool episodes like this one, like the AEW All Out predictions, which is this episode. We just did the WB Clash of the Castle predictions episode yesterday. Shout out to Giorgio, Trey Lewis, and Queen J. Thank you for actually, appearing on our show on the last minute. And also, you know, we've had many great guests too, like, Michael Martinez, Princess Victoria, who was a former WWF Women's Tag Team Champion, Chris Bornier, who wrote a documentary about Black women in wrestling, well, Black female wrestlers back in the 50s and 60s and 70s in pro wrestling, and many other great people as well. So make sure you go on YouTube, check us out. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet dark blue and light blue yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because We got a lot of cool stuff coming. I kid you not. And you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in live tonight. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, Bobby Striker. We really appreciate you as well. To those y'all that are going to listen to us later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware to everybody and their grandparents and their parents of our podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. So with that being said, I'm gonna say it one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for AEW All Out. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we'll be back with another impressive episode with another impressive guest. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.